On today's show,
Daily Values Challenge, President's Day,
clubs and important announcements.
TJTV starts now.
Good morning, Toby Johnson. Today is Thursday, February 20th, and it's first period.
That means it's time for our morning show, First Things First on TJTV. I'm Zeke.
And I'm Aiden, and this is Toby the Jaguar.
Abdallah is here with our Daily Values Challenge.
Good morning, Jaguars. I have a challenge for you. Today, I challenge you to say hi to 5 new people. You can do this by just waving at someone, or you can introduce yourself to someone new. That's all from me, Jags, reporting to you from TJTV. I'm Abdallah.
Mr. Wilderman is here with That's My Story, about one of the reasons we celebrated President's Day on Monday.
I'm Mr. Wilderman, and this is my story. The man who couldn't say no. There was a man who never really wanted the job. That's not to say he didn't think he could do it. He just didn't think anyone should do it. The year was 1789, and the job was the biggest one in the country, President of the United States. You see, this man had already done more for his country than most people could do in a dozen lifetimes. He'd led an army, fought in a revolution, and overseen the birth of a new nation. And when the fight for independence was over, he did what most people thought he wouldn't, and what no one expected. He went home, just like that. He could have taken power and ruled like a king. Instead, he left the power of leadership behind and went back to his farm in Virginia. He simply decided he'd had enough of public life and left. Or so he thought. But as it turns out, the country wasn't done with him. Under a new organizing document, the Constitution, the new United States needed a leader, someone everyone could trust, someone everyone respected, who could keep things from falling apart. And Toby students, if you have already figured this story out, you know there was only one name on everyone's lips, George Washington. Now, here's a twist in this story, kids. If you're thinking that George Washington, maybe the most well-respected man in the country at the time, jumped at the chance to become the first president, you'd be wrong. In fact, he didn't really want the job. He wrote letters to friends confiding in them how much he dreaded the idea of becoming president. He wasn't sure he was up to the task or even had the skills necessary. When officially asked to lead the nation, he hesitated with an answer. After all, this president thing was uncharted territory. There was no manual or instructions on how to be president. But here's the other twist in this story. There's an important thing about how some people view responsibility. They know it doesn't always ask if or when you're ready. Sometimes it just shows up at your door, and you either rise to meet it or you let it pass you by. George Washington had risen to meet the responsibility all his life. He wasn't the kind of man to let a test of character get the better of him. So ultimately he said yes. He didn't do it for power or fame or because he thought it would be fun. He did it because he knew his country needed him. He knew the United States had earned the precious gift of freedom, and the gift required leadership. He knew he could not turn his back on it. As he stood on the balcony of Federal Hall in New York City and took the oath of office on the last day of April 1789, Washington knew the full weight that now rested on his shoulders, that every decision he made would set a precedent for future presidents. He was careful, deliberate, and above all, responsible. He knew the eyes of the nation were on him, and he made sure to walk the line between authority and humility. He didn't overstep his bounds, and when his 2 terms were up, he did what many thought unlikely, and some said was impossible. He gave up the power of leadership and stepped down. Again. In so doing, George Washington taught the country maybe its most important lesson. That power should never be held too tightly, and even more importantly, that responsibility isn't about doing what's right when it's easy. It's about doing what's right even when you'd rather be doing almost anything else. So Jaguars, when it comes to our core values, responsibility is a test of character that helps to build and grow the person you are becoming. It means taking ownership of your actions and obligations and understanding the consequences of those actions. And it means, the most important, when you consistently strive to meet expectations, especially when you think no one is paying attention. Anyway, that's my story of George Washington, the man who couldn't say no, who undertook great responsibility to lead a young United States of America. And I'm sticking to it.
Now, some important information.
The following clubs meet today right after school.
The Cartoon Club will meet in MJ7.
Crochet Club meet in MF11.
The Friday Night Live Club will meet in MF8.
The K-Pop Club meet in MK11.
The Debate Club will meet in MH5 till 3:45.
Chess Club meet in MJ6.
The Tabletop Games Club will meet in MJ6.
The TJTV Club meet in MC9.
The following clubs will meet tomorrow.
The Bible Study Club will not meet this week due to the dance. We will see you next Friday, the 28th, in MF1.
The Pokemon Club will meet in MJ1.
The Leadership Club will not be meeting this week as we will be preparing for the dance. We hope to see you at the dance. Don't forget to get your tickets today at lunch.
That's all the clubs for today and tomorrow.
Join a club and have some fun.
Our winter dance will be tomorrow from 5 to 7 p.m. Today is the last day to purchase your tickets. Tickets will not be sold tomorrow. Tickets cost $9 or $7 with the ASB sticker. You can purchase your ticket at the student store window with your ID.
For the dance, you will enter through Roberts Pass. Students will not be able to come into the dance after 5:15 and will not be able to leave early. ID cards will not be sold at lunch, so if you need a new ID, make sure to purchase it after school. You cannot attend the dance or buy a ticket if you are on the no activities list.
Attention 8th graders, you can pick up applications for the 8th grade field trip to Six Flags Discovery Kingdom on Saturday, March 29th. The cost of the field trip will be $90 and includes the bus ride to the park, entry, lunch. Field trip packets can be picked up at the student store annex. Sign-ups will begin on Monday.
Hey Jaguars, have you been logging in Beanstack to help your class with the Term 3 reading challenge? Don't forget, all English and Bridge classes are welcome to log reading through Sunday, March 2nd. All reading is good reading, so you are welcome to read a variety of formats and books. See the attached slide, Miss Khan, or your teacher for more details. Happy reading!
Attention students who do not have PE this term. You need to complete your personal activity log once a week. Fill out your PAL Google form telling your PE teacher how many minutes of physical exercise you have completed.
The PE teachers want you to sustain a healthy lifestyle while away from PE by engaging in fun exercises of your choice. There are so many things to choose from: sports, activities, fitness videos, exercises, even walking or biking to school. You can use any of those for PAL credit. Get your PAL in as soon as possible. Check the exact due date in your PE teacher's Google Classroom.
Teachers, please turn in all classroom JAG swag to MC9 by 3:10 p.m. today. Make sure all JAG swag is filled out, sorted by team and grade, and placed into correct bins. Thank you.
Now that's all we have for today. We'll be back tomorrow with another episode of First Things First on TJTV. I'm Maiden.
And I'm Zeke, and this is Toby the Jaguar.
Make today your best day yet.